Hey everybody, welcome back. It's me, Defiant Spur, and this is part 1 of my review on the Tier 6 Polish medium tank, the 40 TP. The review is going to be in 2 videos, this part focusing on the stock tank, and the second part on the fully researched vehicle. I'm doing it this way because it seemed to work when I was doing my Chinese tank reviews, and it allows me to go a bit more in depth and focus on the stock tank than I usually would, especially in an awful tank like this. So as you can see, it's not an ugly tank, but it's ugly to play. You start off with a relatively decent gun, the 75mm. For your first 2 gun packages are 75s, and yeah, they're inaccurate. Let's go in and have a look at what Wargaming thinks we need to know about the tank. Well, as you can see in the overview, the star sign of the 40 TP is Leo. It dislikes APCR, which is very true. APCR does tend to hurt this tank a lot. But it likes cats. Now, I think Wargaming included that stat because they know that a good number of us like cats, and it feels like we can then bond with the tank. We wouldn't need to know any other details, really. If we switch along to the engine package, oh, look here, look, you can see that it's got a brum brum box, which is full of go juice. It makes noise and it's slower in reverse. That's something that's really important to know when you're playing this tank, because it's really slow going forwards and it's even slower going back. Okay, so we take a look at its stock weapon. It comes equipped with the 75mm pew pew stick, which hits targets sometimes. And that's very true. It does hit targets sometimes, and it does go pew pew. Anyway, I think that's enough of me ragging on the really bizarre changes they did to the garage and what information they show you. Let's get into this thing properly, shall we? Okay guys, let's get to work. So what we have here is a medium tank that wants to be a heavy tank. It's not the slowest tank I've played, but it's very delicate. It's only got 630 hit points, which makes it the second worst of the tier 6 medium tanks. The 8 degrees of gun depression, that feels like a lie. Gun elevation, yeah, it's probably about right at 15, although I think that's a bit sus as well. Now the gun you start off with is the trustworthy 75mm WZ-36 with its decent rate of fire at 12.7 to 13 rounds per minute, which, you know, combined with its 140 alpha is really quite nice. Accuracy is allegedly 0.38. And yeah, I can believe that actually. It can be a bit derpy at times, but as long as you stick to under 150 meters as your engagement area, you can relatively reliably hit your targets, even if you can't sort of pinpoint laser them in. The penetration on this gun is PAF, and I've said that about all the others. It's rubbish. If you load salt, you know, the premium rounds, it gets a bit better. But yeah, I wouldn't rely on it too much. It feels sluggish, and like I said, because it's a medium tank trying to be a heavy tank. And I guess that's partially due to the extra armour it's got on board there. It goes up to 120 on the front. Which, if you can get into a nice position with some gentle slopes or an object, you can make use of your limited gun depression and bounce a couple of incoming shots. It side scrapes relatively well. In this match here, I didn't do any side scraping, I don't think. I just clicked forwards and shot. It suffers an awful lot from the combination of low health, low mobility, and a gun which works best at medium to close range. You really do have to get close to brawling to make this tank excel, in my opinion. Which I think is why it does so well on town maps. Certainly this one, it really enjoys. I think equipment wise, yeah, you're going to want to, obviously, the same with most of the tanks, you want to increase your strengths. So increase your rate of fire, get that accuracy time down. Then what? Brothers in Arms, maybe. See, the low hit points tends to make me not want to bother with things like repair kits, just because when you're bottom tier, you are toast. And if you come up against any of the other tier 6 mediums, unless it's the really lightweight German one, which has less hit points than this, they're going to be able to run circles around you. Your armour isn't good enough to provide much protection at all. Now I've only included the one full battle in this, just to show you what it can do. My first battle out in the game was actually really good as well. Bottom tier it does struggle, but you can still penetrate some sides and the rears of the Reds. But the low hit points, again, those high tier tanks will just disintegrate you. So yeah, I'll be uploading a load of gameplay. God, my brain is dribbling out of my arse. I'll be uploading a load of gameplay footage of this tank as well. Just to give you more of an idea of what it can do when it's stock. But I wasn't having much fun with this tank, especially not when bottom tier. I mean, top tier, the 75mm can do its job. The relatively good rate of fire really does help. But if it just had a couple more hit points, maybe 700 like the majority of the other medium tanks at this tier, it would do a lot better. One thing I absolutely hate about this tank though, and I really do hate it, it's the wiggly bits. It's got like I think it's a blanket and some beer bottles on the front there, which wiggle around pointlessly. And yeah, that could be a nice touch if it wasn't for the fact they're clearly not actually fixed onto the tank. I mean, those things would have just dropped off as soon as you were driving if they were fixed on how they look like they're fixed on. But yeah, that's just me being a bit pedantic about that, really. Came into the top 3. I really do wish they'll hurry up and add the full info onto the scoreboards, because this doesn't really tell you anything. Anyway, yeah, that's where I'm going to leave this video for now. So as ever, look after yourself, guys. Please do subscribe, like and comment. I've really been enjoying the feedback, actually, you guys have put up on my last video. Some really useful stuff there. And yeah, I am going to be trying to make my content and just this channel a lot better. I'm still learning how to use this editing software. I want to get some decent music all set up and work on a animated intro and an intro for the channel as well. Anyway, take care, guys, and I'll catch you all in game.